And so the conga line and the Onorhians as a whole came to a resolution that was somewhat positive for all involved parties. The group came to a conclusion that they believed would best aid both the spirit folk and the humans of the land, though it did hide some sickening elements. In the aftermath of the final battle, it was finally put to words that Dow the Digger had gone missing. In the midst of that final conflict, he'd vanished, his guards slaughtered by a gigantic, disgusting weapon. Furthermore, the being known as Narn leaped from the top of the rise the moment that Jin was defeated, cackling madly. While it was silently agreed to look to the future with hope, there was still much of this conflict that left uncomfortable feelings in the stomachs of those involved. On the far side of the Stone of Chiron, Ash repeatedly dips her head in the well, trying to get the fierce sweats away. It looks like she's giving herself a wizard swirly.
Oh, God. Oh, big city.
From behind, you hear somebody move, the tinkling of a bell, the rustle of the wind through the grass. It's Zeke.
Oh, hey, Zeke.
Hello, Ash. I am shocked you recognized my particular sound. I've spent a long time perfecting it.
I didn't recognize the sound. I just, saw you.
Ah, what a way to be recognized. Formerly, when I was the motherfucking Bell Ripper, I would explode into areas, and everyone in a 16-mile radius would be aware of my glorious presence.
That sounds pretty scary. I kind of get the impression you were like some sort of natural disaster that wandered Onorhant.
He stares off into the distance. That part of my life is over.
Right. Anyway, what brought you out here? If it's about Big City,
It, of course, is not. That name, too, is a trial that we must overcome.
Oh, man. I take another handful of water and wash my face.
You expressed some interest in wanting to speak to me before we commenced the final battle of the Big War.
Right.
I believe that I, too, hold part of the responsibility in splitting you from your friends with my revelationary tale of the Bell Ripper. The word revelationary sticks in your brain in a weird way.
I spend a moment pondering it and what it could mean, but then brush it aside, taking a seat on the edge of the well. I did actually want to talk to you. Just to kind of clear the air, I guess. This isn't the case now, but at first, I kind of hated you,
I believe my current state is as formless as water. Hating me is the same as hating the taste of water.
That's kind of weird you mention that, because I don't like the taste of water.
What?
I mean, it's all right, I guess.
Sorry, I lost my composure for a second. I never believed I'd speak with someone who had such peculiar tastes.
Is this just how the rest of this conversation is gonna go, Zeke? This isn't a conversation. It's like I'm saying things to you, and then you're saying things to me, and neither of us are talking to each other.
I'm hearing everything that you're saying. I simply said that my current state is based on being as neutral as possible, Ash. I understand that your current state is not.
Right. My current state is one where I don't hate you. And I wanted to say sorry for hating you. I guess did it show, actually? I don't know. I scratched the back of my head.
Perhaps a little bit, but you're fully entitled to your hatred. Your emotions are your own. I have chosen to suppress and forgo mine.
That's
However,
not
that
healthy.
his eyebrow twitches exactly one time. I used to offer my teachings to those below me as the only way to live life. However, I am now little more than a wandering swordsman / whip-assman.
Right. And that whole...
Furthermore, I believe I must apologize, for I was the one that spewed the tale of the motherfucking Bell Ripper and caused these feelings in the first place, without being able to properly explain my own perspective.
I mean, it's not all on you, Zeke. But I do appreciate the apology.
As a half-spirit and a descendant of Tenui, I couldn't readily admit that my direct lineage was responsible for most of the hardships that the people suffered. My responsibility, I felt, was with my human side, the ones who were more directly wronged. However, to you, a foreigner and a new arrival in this land, it must have seemed as if the spirit folk deserved the sympathy in that situation. I myself was caught between the two situations, choosing to side with the humans. I felt personally responsible for their suffering.
Earlier, whenever I said I wanted to talk to you, that's kind of what I was hoping to get out of you. How have you reconciled your two halves?
Really, I thought you wanted to speak to me to talk about meditation techniques.
Not immediately. We can get to that. We can get to that later if you want.
I understand you must be in a similar situation. Yet, your power is different than my own. I hope we can share notes, use our unique circumstances to provide the other with a context that they can operate from.
I'd love to do that. I have another question though, Zeke. Are you happy?
That is a tough question. At times I experience great bliss, moments of focus where I harden my mind to a razor point, cutting through life. Yet in others I am caught up in sheer moments of explosive anger, as I'm sure you may have noticed.
It just sounds like you're normal then.
Ash, I don't believe this world is convenient enough to provide either of us with a clear answer to either of our problems. However, there must be steps that can be taken to alleviate things.
I'm of the same mind. I haven't found any sort of magical cure yet, or anything that'll just make it all okay, but I'm sure that there's something to be done.
Zeke stares down into the well. With my situation, I am no god. The best I could be considered is a demigod. You, on the other hand, he stares over at you, Ash. You could be considered a full deity by most cultures.
I look down at the water as he says that.
Well, if you would, what is your current belief with your situation? How do you believe it'll progress?
I think that so long as I'm struggling, so long as I want to be me, that I'll continue to be me.
A very Onorhant answer. The eternal struggle, striving, will keep you balanced. However, Ash, I must say I found something quite different.
Is it easier?
It's tougher to say, but I personally found it quite comforting. Within me, all parts exist at once. I am neither Zeke nor the Bowel Ripper. The rage exists building at all times, yet I am still utterly calm.
How have you managed that?
That's an interesting consideration. It managed itself. Ash, this is all that I am, all at the same time. My anger and my serenity are the same thing, existing simultaneously within my body. From what I understand, you are a human with something other. You are not a mixture, you are not light and shadow. These things exist simultaneously. He sits down. I've noticed quite a change in you, at least, during your time in Onorhant. Would you say that now you are more human or more other than you were before?
Neither. I'm both.
A smile brushes its way across his lips. It seems you do understand, then. Whenever I tap into the majestic power of the motherfucking Bowel Ripper, I find myself with an anger hangover for weeks to come. It's easier to fall into old habits that way. I'm sure your own abilities have a similar cost.
I nod.
However, that does not mean the blade doesn't cut both ways. It took me time to realize, but by meditating, by focusing on my human aspects, I could have a human hangover for weeks to come in the same way. Through experiencing this world with my eyes, my ears, by sharing a good drink with friends, by meditating under a waterfall, I feed my human half. By exploding with rage and bringing swift and fantastic justice down on my enemies, I feed my spirit half.
I unconsciously ease back a bit as I see his hand going for a whip ass.
I am both human and spirit. I feed both of myselves and I flourish. Do you understand? Marcus stares off at distant Jinkala, the sun peeking down behind it. It's soon enough that he'll be leaving this place. And he takes a moment to himself to reflect and ponder.
Man, this trip has been 6 types of crazy.
All of that is immediately cut short by a smug presence radiating behind you.
Oh, hello, Jen. I
hello
thought you
there,
might be
Marcus.
joining me, I say, turning around.
Oh wow, I like your interpretation of an old classic.
Oh, thanks. You know, I couldn't just rip yours off exactly, but it's nice to have
Yes.
a bit of a one-liner like that for when somebody walks up behind you.
Yes, that phrase has a fair amount of stink on it now.
You gonna come up with a new one?
If something frustrating enough strikes my fancy. I wanted to take a second to congratulate you on your plan going so gloriously.
Oh, thank you. You really didn't have to, but I appreciate it, Shin. I wanted to take a second to congratulate you on your plan sucking so bad and going terribly.
Yes, of course. In fact, I'd like to offer you a congratulatory handshake. He reaches out his hand.
I'm not about to cause an apocalypse here and now. The fight's done with. It's over.
Yes, I believe it is for now. Oh, that sounded more menacing than I intended it
That
to.
sounded really menacing, Shin. You wouldn't be happy. You wouldn't be planning something else, would you? I almost wink at him, but stopped just short.
That remains to be seen. Currently, as I said before, this is perfectly amenable to my own situation. Though I do find myself without the ban or a good place to take baths, I have a room in a dormitory nearby where I was decked in the face by a man with an eye patch.
I look down the cliff face ahead of me. There's a lot of water down there.
Please, I wouldn't bathe in the open. That's extremely gauche.
Yeah, you know what? That makes sense. Really hope that you're able to work well with everyone else here to help make Onorhant a better place.
Yes, of course.
But, I really feel like I should just clarify again. Your plan stunk. Like, it was really bad. I have a question for you, actually. Why didn't you try working with everybody just, like, right from the get-go? Why didn't you level with all of the players on the field? Like, clearly, I sweep my hands out. Clearly, that's how we're getting everything done now. And it's working like a charm.
All the players on the field? You mean the gigantic racists, Kirlos and Dao, one of whom disappeared in the war and the other met his unfortunate end at your friend's hands?
Point.
Furthermore, yes, my plan did have flaws, but so did yours.
Yeah, I mean, I can't deny that. I just did the best with the hand that we were dealt.
Shin looks down at his hand post-handshake. You do know, by blasting me with iconoclasm, then dropping me into that seal, if I hadn't perfectly contained the attack, limiting it to my wisp alone, it would have annihilated everything in there, right?
Marcus sags. I honestly had no idea. Thank you?
Shin's brow furrows for a second. I thought it was more in your character to go, of course I knew that, and it was all part of my calculation because I knew your best interests.
I look down at my hand. That is exactly the sort of thing that I would say, but I get the feeling that you would know exactly just how full of shit I am if I said it. I'm honestly still getting a handle on the iconoclasm spell, on my own demon nonsense, and no, I didn't realize that would happen if you hadn't contained it, so thank you for doing that.
In the interests of transparency, I believe you also saw through my plan, coincidentally. Jin once again shrugs, shaking his head. Classic Jin.
Marcus nods amiably.
If I can be candid for a second, there's one thing that absolutely bothers me above all else.
What, the whole not being artful thing?
No, that's a thing I said in the moment. I felt it was apt for the situation.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it was. I think I'm plenty artful, thank you.
You were summoning those tiny red men. You were not artful.
Do you have something against my imps?
I believe we're getting off topic again. No, I don't enjoy being caught off guard. Listen, I'm a schemer, I'm a thinker, I take my time. I come up with brilliant plans, but such things need to be aged like a fine wine.
Oh yeah, and I beat you with toilet wine, huh?
No, you completely caught me by surprise. Or I should say, your presence caught me by surprise. Keep this on the down low, but actually I have trouble meeting people the second they come to visit me. It takes me about 16 hours of careful consideration in the bath before I even know how to say hi to a person.
Really?
Yes.
Is that from social anxiety, or what's happening there?
I don't believe I'd put it that way, but I suppose so. You spend enough time with a silent army and you forget how to talk to people.
Really sad. Do you do you want to do, like, conversation practice with me? Is that what we're doing right now?
I believe we're getting off topic again.
Why do I feel so sorry for you all of a sudden?
That is exceedingly not what I'm going for here.
Okay, sorry.
I suppose I've spent so long in this land surrounded by people who take themselves extremely seriously, who negotiate the social landscape with the grace of glaciers. This extends to the Onorhants, your friends that I've encountered, and to my own spirit folk kin. They're determined but slow and thick. Predictable to a thought.
I feel like that's a pretty big generalization, but by all means, finish your thought.
To build on my earlier point, it had been a long time since anyone had surprised me. I'd say use Horovin as your operating example. Horovin is an idiot. You just need...
Marcus raises a hand to reply, but then lowers it.
You merely need to and at him, and he'll simply do whatever you say. It's honestly kind of sad.
Horovin.
Now imagine a country full of people like that.
Well, I don't know if it's quite fair to claim that every Anorian is just like Horovin. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that that's pretty, racist?
Jin shrugs, call it what you will. Regardless, it had been a long time since I'd met somebody else who played the game, so to speak.
Truth be told, I haven't met with many of our kind either. Oh, it feels weird to say it like that.
Yes, true bastards are few and far between. No, I must say, in that one moment when I believed my plan had come together so perfectly, when I was secure in my victory, you managed to surprise me. For a few hours, as that distorting magic ripped away at my form, I realized something. In that moment, my plan could go any way. All the pieces on the field no longer mattered. Depending on what I did, I could be some sort of great demon lord, as your friend so eloquently put it. A sneering and sniveling vizier who engineered the entire circumstance. I could be a true hero and secretly a champion of the Anorian cause all along. And it all came down to the outcome of a singular fight. Simply put, while the coin was in the air, I felt possibility again. I engaged with it fully, and Marcus, to put it simply, you out-viziered me, and I wanted to out-vizier you back.
I look around. Am I in the middle of one of your plans right now?
No, I believe that this time the coin fell in such a way that I got to be the tool, the fool. Something that was actually rather refreshing for me, no longer Jin of Oaths. I believe there are some amongst the Anorian populace who believe me to be some sort of pariah hero. One who made himself the villain so that everyone could find unity. Isn't that hilarious?
That's pretty damn funny.
He shakes his head and looks back to the capital. Learning to accept brilliance that the small folk attribute to you is the mark of a true leader, I suppose. Or at least one who will leave their mark on history.
After that, it's just all about finding the right angle.
So to make something clear, I believe the truth of this war was the conflict ended when Kirlos fell. What happened afterwards was simply deciding who got to be the hero and who got to be the villain.
I think there's some truth to that, Jin.
Of course you shouldn't tell any Anorians this, or any of your companions. I believe
No,
they'd
of course
get
not.
upset.
Why bring the paradigm crashing down unless I have to?
That being said, with your most recent terrifying transformation, I believe you'd be more equipped to playing the villain next time.
Oh.
You know what? Playing the villain one of these days might just be a refreshing change of pace. But, like, not actually the villain, the person who ends up being seen as the villain. I don't actually want to be the bad guy, you see. But it's okay if other people think that I'm the bad guy. I think I see exactly what you're talking about, actually.
His vision focuses on the recently dubbed Big City. And a genuine smile plays across his lips. Well, I didn't believe you at first. After all, you are a foreigner and a schemer, new to our shores. You did, above all else, care for the people of this land. He shows you a genuine look of gratitude. I can thank you for that, at least. Nearly annihilating me aside.
I really did the best that I could. And I, smile just a bit.
In the Dust District, the most organizationally minded members of the group go over exiting orders for those troops coming back with them on their return journey. There are plenty of expatriates that are traveling with them, those that no longer wish to participate in this great human spirit drama. Spirit folk and human alike were welcomed with open arms, / the group really hopes that Kilo will welcome them on the islands. Okay, so yeah, we custom trained you in our various clashing styles To better protect they're not refugees, I guess. That's a new experience for me. Thog looks over at the group. They're just expatriates, people who want to leave. Huh, weird. Regardless, we custom trained you guys. You got the best of the best that we could offer for protecting folks. Now let's
arms.
They hold their arms out.
Okay, who undid my training?
Indian puts their hand up.
I can work with this.
I noticed that each of their sequins are right where they should be and give a nod of approval.
I don't even bother asking the band to present arms.
Sir? Gregor, sir? We practiced our glaive twirling. Do you want to see it?
And Ian, did you undo their glaive twirling?
Indian nods.
We'll save that for later, soldier.
You ever get the impression that, like, me training folks just makes them worse?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. I think that they were a highly effective force on the battlefield that nobody saw coming.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know, the group that, like, you guys left just to me, I don't know.
Are they still alive?
Yeah, I'll call them for you. Thog yells, "Hey!" Three conga line guards. Three conga line guards trudge in. "What do you want, boss?"
Wait up, where are your uniforms?
Yeah,
Where's your conga line mandated sparkles?
We sold them for a pack of cigs.
What the fuck?
I stare at Thog.
Yeah, this is kind of what happens.
What the fuck, Thog?
What'd you do?
I taught them Onorhant fighting styles and, philosophies.
Maybe
taught them to take their
don't next
shirts
time.
off.
Maybe don't.
Oh, come on. My guards could kick your guards' asses.
I doubt
No.
that.
No, incorrect.
Hey, Thog's guards, present arms.
They all assume a low squat and project menace at you.
He might have a point.
I'm not comfortable with these guys loitering around the Shrouded Isles.
You know what? They kind of remind me of Thug A and B.
Now there's
Oh
a C,
yeah,
though.
and your silent murderers are okay.
They're fine.
They all hold up switchblades. They've also been trained by Batty.
No one said present arms.
Marcus,
so
don't try to
online,
tell them what
Ash.
to do. Try and tell them what to do. They don't like that. The band,
okay.
working with the band is more of a conversation.
Yeah, that's how working with the Onorhant is too, except the conversation is violence.
Why are they still wearing their masks?
Maybe they like the
I
masks.
think they like the masks.
I think they're pretty cool looking.
The band exchange looks, they all kind of nod. Yeah, the masks are cool, is the implied language between them.
Aside from the switchblades, I promise the band are real nice. They're super nice. Foxy over there makes a really, really nice cup of coffee.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I'd like to see that. 1 cup of coffee, please. Present coffee.
Like,
The Foxpass band just turns around and just kind of shuffles off looking for coffee.
Wait. I guess we've got an extra crate.
it's fine.
Wait. We're really doing the crates, Gregor? I thought that was like a metaphor or something.
We've only
What's
got
this
the
about
one
crates? What?
boat. All right,
We
listen.
only have the one boat. Gregor's right.
But
If we're gonna get all these people to come back with us, we're going to need to be smart about how we bring them.
Darn Skippy.
and
Right, we can't
your
leave the fox
solution-
man on the boat with the cabbage man, right? I've heard this one before.
And your solution is to put everybody in a crate?
So they're stackable.
Not everybody, Ash. We naturally would have our own cabins, ideally on the luxury liner. It'd be fine.
I stare at
Well-
Gregor.
Yeah, I'm fine with this.
Okay, your quarters might be a little smaller than you're expecting.
Gregor, be real with me. Did you get me a crate?
Don't worry, Ian. I snuck you a double-size crate.
Oh wow.
Dog, did you okay this?
I okayed literally none of this, but I can't fault the efficiency. I mean, as a middle manager, I believe I'm contractually obligated to approve this as it's saving on company expenses. Good job, Gregor.
Yeah. And I spared many expenses on the crates.
That is the last thing that me and Marcus want to hear,
I don't want to hear that either.
I mean, if I'm gonna be in a crate, I want to be in a decent crate.
right?
Okay, and how long is this trip back gonna take?
Well, I mean, you could spend your time doing push-ups if You could probably invent a new exercise that you could do in an enclosed area. I know I will.
I'm really not looking forward to. Is the books? Did
Oh,
the bookstore
please.
totally burn down? Like, I kind of want to get some books for the trip back.
To ashes, I'm afraid.
You could get one book. Come on. You don't have it as bad as me. In order to fit Inian's crate, I have a half-size crate.
Well, I mean, you're the short. Actually, Indian's shorter than you.
Ash, I actually have a book that you can read on the trip.
I'm the most flexible.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it's a copy of my very own adventure novel, High Tides, Higher Tempers. It's right here. He puts a hand into his bag and reaches it out. Wait a minute, smooth seas, smoother sailors. When did that bastard pull a switch on me?
It's signed.
Damn it! He knows I can't throw away a signed copy.
So, Gregor, that's pretty sweet that you got me a double size. How about I'll offer to share my crate with you?
You may be overestimating what double size is.
On his list of long goodbyes in Jinkala is the Knuckle, the new dark demazine of the Shadow Guild, home of his friend Zelvetta.
Gregor walks in, is distracted by the table. I
Gregor,
wonder who
welcome.
keeps stocking these.
Not me. Those are actually pretty old. It turns out Kirlos preserved those meats. They're kind of like trophies. It's really weird. I just don't know what to do to get rid of them. I think they're like a controlled substance or something.
Yeah.
Zelvetta continues penciling away on the desk.
Check out those books over there. I'm sure there are protocols on this.
Oh yeah, I'll have the library ninja get to it immediately.
So things are working out pretty well here. You're happy as a guild leader?
It's pretty hit or miss. Onorhant's sort of lacking in a social structure right now, so we sort of need a morally corrupt secret police led by some jackass. He spins the pen in his hand, and that's pretty much me.
I don't know much about building societies, so I'll take your word for it.
He turns back to his table. I'm mostly just messing with you, though.
Right.
There are sometimes troublemakers that need to be dealt with swiftly, but, well, we haven't killed anyone yet, and that's a start.
Wow, you're really turning things around, huh?
Turns out there was this band that wrote the book on scaring people, so we've adopted some new techniques. Honestly, as much as I hate to admit it, could learn a lot from them. Most of my employ right now are ban. It's odd to be working with them, but we kind of need them in the new age.
I'm glad you've overcome your differences, and hope that continues to be the case, because they don't stand a chance.
Stand a chance against what? He looks up at you earnestly. Oh, me. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, pretty flattered there. I feel like I bungled it a lot in the final battle there. He trails off.
Take it from me. Everybody bungles.
I think Kirlos has that book. He points over to the shelf. Well, from the moment I met you, you smelled and acted differently than the others. Frankly, you reeked of blood and cold steel.
I wish someone had told me earlier.
Knowing what you know about me now, that's actually pretty comforting. If I became a full monster, I knew somebody like you wouldn't hesitate to finish me off. Felt a bit safer with myself.
Zelvetta, I know a thing or two about monsters. More than that, actually. And I'm 100% confident that you're not a monster.
That's
You can be scary sometimes. Quite a lot of sometimes.
That's an extremely nice thing to say, Gregor, and I really appreciate it. Even though I've got to stay here, you just give the call. Like, we're trying to come up with some sort of signal that can be used to call in the Shadow Guild, but that's still in development. Honestly, if you'd lent your engineer friend to us for any longer period of time, I believe we could have some true breakthroughs, but he kind of shrugs. I understand you got things to do.
I'll have him send you a mitten. And don't worry, your champion is always ready to serve you.
And so too is the Shadow Guild ready to serve you, Gregor. Have a nice trip.
Gregor walks over and gives Zelvetta a big hug.
Everyone, we have had the utmost pleasure vacationing in your country like this. Even if things got a
Vacation!
little bit real there for a little while.
Fucking, you're calling it a vacation, Marcus?
I can call it
Shut
whatever
up.
I like,
You're
Thog.
ruining the moment.
Sadly, we have to be on our way now. We have to get home ourselves. But, I personally feel honored that we were able to assist your city and your country in the way that we have. So, thank you for having us. Thanks for not killing us on the battlefield, those of you who fought against us. And, remaining conga line members who are staying behind, you are the best extrajudicial militia that a guy could ever ask for.
Randy cries in the distance. Marcus, are you seriously crying right now?
I'm tearing up. It's an emotional time.
I can't believe you're not crying.
Really? Seriously?
What's wrong with you?
We'll be sure to visit. Goodbye, everyone.
I mean, I'm not crying either. Thug looks at them with his cold, dead eyes.
That's just to be expected.
Tears are streaming out of them.
Marcus, you're gonna have to stop with the prestidigitation soon.
Yeah, okay.
Gregor, Inian, Ash, Macaroni Man. It's been an honor. I feel like interacting with you, I was always on the wrong side of fate, pulled about by the currents of destiny. But seeing you and how you screamingly careened your way through life, through existence, I believe there's another way to live. I mean, not proudly, not even well, but there is certainly another path. A path that I choose to follow myself now. I'll protect this country for the truth that I've discovered.
I believe you. You're pretty hard to beat.
Good, Orovin. I'm glad to see that you're finally on the right side of things.
Zelvetta looks up and down the group. Goodbye. I already said goodbye to Gregor. He's the important one. Marcus?
Zelvetta,
You're pretty cool.
you're pretty cool, too.
That's all they say to each other. Morin looks over at the group. Yeah, I feel like things were getting pretty rough for me for a while. Honestly, I considered you guys like a little bit of an albatross that hung around my neck, so I got kind of sad every time you showed up. And the fact that you kept telling me to like wait outside and hang back in the big war, that didn't help things. But things have really turned around for me, and I can't thank you guys enough.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sorry that we were kind of the harbingers of ill omens for you.
You're getting robbed.
Yeah. Oh, wait, Morin, just one last thing before we leave. I step forward and move to shake Morin's hand.
He reaches out and shakes your hand.
As we're shaking hands, I lean close. It was Rat that robbed you.
Morin's expression doesn't change. He simply leans over to Zelvetta, whispers something to him. Zelvetta nods one time and snaps his fingers.
I nod to Morin and take my place in the line again.
Thog, it was great meeting your new co-workers. Technically, they're my employees. New co-workers. I hope you find what you're looking for.
What are you looking for?
Lots of things, Ash. Lots of things. Zeke looks at the group as a whole. I believe thanks to you, I've had a chance to regain my honor and my proper place in this country. I've given up the name Zeke, choosing to adopt my old name. The swordsman known as Untitled.
I like it.
Yes, it makes referring to me very confusing, but I believe it properly communicates the essence of my character.
You know, you not having a title is going to make correspondence super hard.
Yes, it will. He stares off into the distance.
Don't worry, Ash. I can help you with the letters.
Oh.
Yes, goodbye, everyone. It was a good time seeing you. Yeah, goodbye. And good riddance.
What? Colvin?
What?
Really?
Is that what you say goodbye in a chummy way?
Oh, he meant it positively.
Yes. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, what a pal.
Same to you.
What a pal. You hold on to that signed copy now. Ballas McGee points at Marcus. There's a new one
will.
coming out in the next 2 weeks. I'll slip it into your crate.
Don't you dare.
And
I'll actually break your arm.
someday, Marcus, I'm gonna have my revenge.
For what?
I think you killed his brother or something dramatic.
Did I? That doesn't sound like me.
See you on the flip side, Gil. Ballas McGee takes a step forward, scrambles over the stones awkwardly, and you hear a distant splash. He climbs his way back onto shore and, very wet, walks past the group.
An imp hobbles up on a tiny pair of crutches. He too has been through a war and has not come out unscathed.
Oh no! Holy
He
shit!
approaches Marcus.
Holy shit! I can't. Oh my god!
You're staying here? Gestures backwards. A family? Adoptive children? I am so happy for you. Now, is the leg okay? It'll heal in 2 weeks, you say. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I reach down and remove my summoning seal from the imp.
Whoa.
Have a full life.
Oh my god.
Say hi to
imp trudges
Randy and
off.
Randy for me.
Wow,
They grew up so fast.
I didn't think I could actually cry at any of this, but holy shit, that
You
was
do have a
actually
heart.
That was pretty touching. Ash, even if I didn't have a heart, anyone would cry at that.
Not the time.
Crying.
Look, the golem back there is crying.
He cries a lot, though.
Regardless, I think this is goodbye to Onorhant.
I think it is.
Bye, Max. We'll definitely see you again.
Yes.
Don't get trapped in any chests.
Yes. His mask flashes.
Huh. You know, that's kind of ironic. Because of the crates.
Oh!
Well, I guess he's not putting us in the
Oh
crates.
my god, we have
so-
to deal with that shit, don't we?
Oh, okay.
It'll be fine.
Fuck
How
it.
bad can a crate be?
Fuck it, Indian wipes her tears, shoves Ash. I call top crate.
Oh, fuck you! No, I call top crate! I sprint after Inian.
Fools. Bottom crate is where it gets nice and cozy.
And with that, the group departed Onorhant once and for all.
That was ominous.
Once and for all.
That was ominous, sir.
Once and for all!
There it
I don't
is.
know why they want the top crates. The air is pretty thin up there.